Joining me now is Jim Hotelling from Hillside Garden Landscaping. Jim, we have some viewer questions that were sent in. The first question I have for you today is, we had a tree removed from our yard and had the stump ground out. Can we just plant seed in what's been left behind?
Well, basically, that can be a real issue. What we recommend doing is raking up all those loose chips and the dirt that's mixed in and removing it and putting all new topsoil in the area. And there are some reasons for that. And, what happens is that stuff starts to decay. You can reseed it and it can come up really nice, but as it starts to decay, all of a sudden everything turns yellow and kind of dies, because in the decaying process, it robs all the nitrogen and it messes up the pH of the soil. So removing they put new topsoil down, and that would be your best bet.
Okay, so the next question we have, can the chips be used in a garden?
Well, again, my suggestion with those chips is the best thing to do with them is just put them in a pile somewhere, compost them for a year or two, and at that point, they'll make wonderful compost for the garden. But if you just throw them in the garden, the same thing's going to happen to whatever the garden plants, whether it's a vegetable garden or what have you. So you can have the same issue there. So compost them for a year or two, and then you'll have some wonderful material to work with.
Gotcha. And then our last question for you, we always hear that spring is a good time to transplant. Is there still time this year?
Yeah, it's a loaded question. If you're transplanting perennials, most perennials like daylilies and hostas and things like that, it's still plenty of time, even ornamental grasses and a lot of items like that. There are a few perennials that once they've really started to come up, you don't want to mess with. That's like bleeding heart, peonies, and even poppies. You're probably better off waiting until late summer or fall to do. But the big thing is woody shrubs and trees. That's the big issue. And once they start to leaf out, you're better off leaving them alone. And right now, some things are out and some things aren't. So there's a few plants and trees you can get away with, but others, once they leaf out, you don't want to take the chance, take the risk if you have a value to them. Now, the next window of opportunity is in the fall. Basically, you're looking at once the leaves drop from the trees, then it's a good time again. So basically, it's that dormant season when the leaves are off, when it's good to transplant woody plants.
Okay, thank you so much, Jim. We appreciate you answering those questions for us.
Okay, thank you. This is Jim Hotelling, home gardener from Hillside Garden Landscaping.